Shalom and good day all, this is Tequila29 back again for another DC review, and in this DC review I'll be covering Kneel Before Zod, the latest issue of Shazam, and also the latest issue of the Superman 78 Metal Curtain. So I'll now get things ready for the first one that I'll be covering in the review. So starting with first things first, the one that we'll be beginning with will be Kneel Before Zod, issue 3. And does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it sort of does, but doesn't. But for the overall rating for the cover, I give a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as we start to have a look around the beginning of the story, we have the Khunds attacking New Kandor, and of course we have Ursa, of course, jumping into the scene and doing the best she can to defend New Kandor from the Khunds. As we start to move towards the middle of the story, we do catch up once again with Zod, and we get to see a little bit more happening as to how Ursa is taking on the Khunds, along with the people who serve under them, or who also serve under New Kandor, who are defending against the Khunds. And last but not least, big spoiler, we do end up seeing the death of Ursa. So what will this mean for Lord Zod? And will Drew Zod himself inform Lord Zod of the death of his mother? We're yet to find out. No doubt there might be some clues in the next issue, and if it happens to be put in the next issue, it'll be interesting to see Lord Zod's reaction. So for the internal art, I give a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. So first things first, do we get anything time-wise? No, we don't. Next is the area of the location in the DC universe. It takes place on New Kandor. The cast of characters consisting of Ursa, Drew Zod. We also had the Khunds and also the Eradicator. For the overall story rating in this, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. And now it's time to move into Shazam issue 9. So with this issue creeping in, we have Shazam issue number 9 by Mark Waid. And I think this might be the last issue which Mark Waid is working on, and then it's moving over to Tracy Campbell. So starting off with first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough, it does, as we do actually get a very similar situation to which we do see on the cover here, and a great job there by the person who actually did the art for this, to which I give the cover a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art and also what's happening story-wise with the characters as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. So as the story begins, we end up meeting up with the character of the Creeper at the beginning until we move into a bit of an interview with Billy Batson on a news station with Jack Ryder. And I think Jack Ryder is also the Creeper in this as well. So now I'll move towards the middle of the story, and we do actually get a bit of a comic reference in there, but I'll address that later on. So as we start to move towards the middle of the story, we end up having a situation where the Creeper, along with Shazam, or the Captain, are working together in a situation. And last but not least, we have the character of Jack Ryder returning to his home, only to find a bit of a surprise, which I won't show. So for the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the story. And considering how far we are, in this particular series, did we get any comic references? And sure enough, we did, in relation to Puppet of the Gods, which is actually the Shazam, the first 6 issues, so something that connects to the first story arc in this. Next is the area of time, to which we got no indication of all, when it wasn't pointed out if it was sort of like playing out in the past, present, or future, or a certain time of day, morning, noon, night. Even though we got to see it in the art, it wasn't actually pointed out by, let alone the editor or the writer themselves, though it would not hurt to see it be included. Next is the area of the location, to which we have Philadelphia in Fawcett City, so we get to see where what's happening, basically around the city and the household where Billy Batson lives with his family. The cast of characters consisting of the Creeper, Billy Batson, Shazam, and of course we got to see like Metamorpho, Challenges of the Unknown, and other additional characters in this particular issue. But for the overall story rating in this, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into Superman 78, Metal Curtain, issue 6. So as we move into Superman 78, Metal Curtain, issue 5, correction there. Does this cover in any way, shape, or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? It does, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art and also what's happening story-wise with the characters, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. And also the rating for the art. So as the story begins, we have Superman with Lois Lane meeting up with General Lane, and as they talk about some of the situation that's taking place, we also get the appearance of Lex Luthor from this world making an appearance. So as we start to jump towards the middle of the story, what you're seeing here takes place after Superman arrives in Russia, as he's wanting to somewhat be a bridge to peace of sorts, as he's trying to sort of like find out what's happening, and also we get to see what's happening with the character of Metallo. And last but not least, we get another upcoming fight between Metallo and Superman. For the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. Did this story give us any indication of anything time-wise? No, it didn't. Now, it probably wouldn't have hurt to included it, especially if we were to, say, address maybe what the UTC location, UTC time location of where Superman was in the US when meeting up with General Lane. And also, you could have also used the UTC time coordinates of where Superman was in Russia. And I think that would have been something really nice to see in this. I think it would also bring up the score a bit. Next is the area of the location, to which we end up getting California and also Moscow. So it would have been nice to see like the time difference between Moscow and also California within this story. Next is the area of the cast of characters, to which we have Lois Lane, General Lane, Clark Kent, Superman, Lex Luthor, and last but not least, the character of Metallo. For the overall story rating in this, I give it a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.